Hello everyone, Tina here. Welcome to Card Making Fundamentals and welcome to the In the Moment classroom. I am super excited you're here with me today. For those of you who are returning students, welcome. I appreciate you so much. And if you are new to the classroom, welcome aboard. I hope you enjoy the projects that we're going to be creating this month. We are going to jump in. First, we're going to go over the supplies that we need to create our very first lesson. This is lesson kit number 1. So I have that out already. I'm going to go over the supplies that we need, which is not very much. We're not going to do any stamping with lesson kit number 1, but you are going to need some scissors, definitely some glue. You're going to need your tape runner, and I think that's about it. So minimal supplies, which is really nice. I think everybody probably has these built in their craft stash. And so we're going to go ahead and jump in and get started. You are going to need some supplies from your second goodie bag. You're going to need everything except for your stamp set and your pocket cards. You're not going to need those for this project today. You're going to need the rest of your goodies. So I have all of this aside. Now I was super excited that I was able to include a craft pick. I've been using this for a while. Let me take it out. It's not a very fancy one, but it works so well. Let me get it out of the plastic here. Hope you guys don't have a hard time getting it out of the plastic. So this is, I was so happy I was able to include this. This is a craft tool or craft pick, okay? I like it because of the size. It's like perfect, it's thin, which is nice, but you can pick up gems or jewels and you can punch out pieces, your pieces with your die. It fits through the holes perfectly. So, this is going to be really handy, and I think it's going to be really I don't think I'll put this in my travel bag because it looks kind of like a weapon, but it's nice for the craft desk. And if you have a magnet, it'll stick to it. So wherever you put the magnet, this will stick to it too. So nice little handy tool, and I'm happy we can include that. Normally, I tell you guys to break out your craft pick, and this is the one I have in my my travel bag, the one I usually use. So, but I'm finding this is really nice. I've been using this in my videos. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but been loving it. So I'm glad you get to get that too. Okay, we're gonna so break out your craft pick. You're gonna need your 3D stickers, and you're gonna need your foam circles. Take those out. You're gonna need your there are a lot in here, guys. This is going to take you years and years to use all of these little mini paper clips. I think there's, well, it says there's 100 in there, but you're going to need one paper clip from your pack. But I love the little pack. Let me show you. This is a nice, minus the little insert. It's a nice little home for your paper clips. I keep them in the packaging. Oh, my video is going to run long because I'm rambling. I'm sorry. But take one paper clip out because you're going to need one. And then you're also going to need your scissors. So these are cheesy scissors. These are old school zigzag scissors. But I think it's fun that we all get to play with them for our projects. So I haven't used these forever, but I think it's going to be fun to use them for the classroom. So we're going to use those, and let's take a look at what's in our lesson kit. Let's take everything out, and I did change the quality of our envelopes and our card bases. You guys probably know the difference if you guys are return students. So let's go ahead and start off by taking our polka dot pattern paper. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. We're going to take our polka dot pattern paper, and we're going to take our tape runner and adhere that to our card base. It's an A2 size card front panel, and it should fit perfectly. If there's a little overhanging, there's no worries because you can always just trim it off. And I do have a little bit overhanging, so I'm going to use my scissors. If you guys have a paper trimmer and want to use your paper trimmer, you could use your paper trimmer to trim off the excess. There is a little bit that's overhanging, on mine at least. Okay, so our polka dots adhered. I'm gonna lightly tack my card base closed. That way it stays closed. It wants to open up. Now we have these pieces that came in the main pack. I haven't opened this one up yet. But what we're gonna do is take this striped paper and I'm gonna flip over my panel and we're gonna add adhesive to this side. And then we're gonna tack down this paper. So about 1/2 of an inch is showing of the striped paper. Line it up from top to top. It's a little bit longer and that's okay. If there's excess overhanging, you'll take your scissors and just trim it off. If I can trim it straight. Okay. And then what we're going to do is take this white strip of paper and we'll break out your zigzag scissors. We're going to use these. Now, I found the best way to use your zigzag scissors is use this edge here as a guide on this edge. So line up this edge. Let me see, you can see here. If you go over here, that's too far over. Use this edge and line it up on the edge of your paper and then make one cut as far as you can. Mine actually locked up. You might want to have to unlock them. And then you take your scissors again and go along that edge and do another little cut. And then pull your scissors up, go along that edge, do another little cut. Mine locked up again. And then you're just going to basically repeat the process all along your white cardstock. There we go. And then it should be pretty much even. You can see here. Now you can save this because we're going to do another cut later on, and if you want to use this one, you can. You don't have to cut because this does kind of not very comfortable scissors, I would say, but it does make a pretty zigzag. So I'm going to put this aside and use the thinner one. If you went a little bit thicker, you want about 1/4 of an inch with this white cardstock. Once we have this trimmed down, I'm going to use my glue and add a thin line of glue behind my zigzag. And then we're going to adhere this. So the zigzag is on the seam of the teal cardstock. You can see here. And then I have a little bit overhanging, so I'll trim that off. Okay. Once we have this done, I'm going to, I want this a little bit shorter. I don't want this as long. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to take my paper trimmer. I'm going to use my travel one. If you guys are looking for a nice travel trimmer, this still has the plastic on. I leave it on there. But this is like the perfect size. You can see this is an A2 size. It is like the perfect size for travel. But I'm going to take my panel and I'm going to put it in my trimmer and I'm going to trim, and I'm going to cut this to the 3-inch mark. I actually want a 3-inch wide panel. So I have this extra piece that we're not going to use. You can put this on the inside of your card if you wanted to. But you just want to make sure that when you trim it, you have a 3-inch panel. Because this way we can center it on our card base. Okay, now that that's trimmed down, I'm going to take some glue and add a thin bead along my black and white polka dot paper. And then this is going to go over the seam of my teal cardstock and the white, kind of covering up that middle. You see there? And then I have some overhanging we'll trim off. So that layer is good to go. So we have the stripes, the white zigzag, and then the polka dots. And it's 3 inches white total. Okay? After we have this done, we're going to open up our goodie bag. Take everything out here. We have some black and white baker's twine. Now I'm going to take my tape runner and I'm going to add some tape where the seam is, or at least I think the seam is, where the black and white paper is. And then we're going to kind of cheat on our ribbon. I'm going to attach one end of my baker's twine so it's in the middle of the black and white polka dot. I'm going to flip it around and tack it to the back, and then I'm going to trim it off. So we have a little bit of texture here over the polka dots. Okay, after we have this done, we're going to take our paper clip. I took a paper clip out and I'm going to add it. I'm going to add it to where I'm put the small, okay, you have a big and the small side. I'm going to put the small side in the back and the big side in the front. And I'm going to go over the, polka dot area. You might have to straighten out your twine a little bit if it gets stuck in there. And I want a little bit of that paper clip overhanging because we're going to take more of that baker's twine. We're going to thread it through the paper clip. I'm going to just tie a knot real fast. And then I can push it down a little more so it's overhanging. And our baker's twine is attached. And then I'm going to take that baker's twine and tie a bow. Just making sure both sides are even. Okay, and then we can trim the tails of our bow. And you can make it as long as or as short as you want. But I think that's going to work out perfect. Kind of look like a little present. Okay, I do need to straighten out my twine. Make sure it's down the center of the polka dots. Now once we have this done, I'm going to flip this over and we're going to need to take out some of our foam circles. I've been loving these because they don't have too much dimension. We're gonna fill in the back with some foam circles. I'm even gonna put one behind the paper clip to help secure it. I've been loving these because they're not that. You guys know I like dimension, and sometimes with the other foam squares. There we go. It does give it a lot of dimension, especially when there's a lot of layers, and these are like the perfect width. I'm just removing the release paper and just throwing the release paper off to the side. No, I'm just kidding. I have a little garbage bin over there. Sometimes I make it, sometimes I don't, but okay, then we're going to take our panel, we're going to flip it around. And then we're going to add this to the center of our card base. So it gives dimension, but just the right amount, I think. Don't you love them? I'm going to order more and put those in my shop. So if you guys want extras, I'll put them in my shop for you. Okay, now we have our arrow, our little grid line arrow. This is going to go about 1/2 inch from our bottom panel. And this portion is going to go directly on our, or maybe we should pop it up a little bit. Let's add some foam squares behind here. We got quite a bit. I'm going to add 2 to the front of our arrow. And then I'm going to take half of one, cut it in half, and then I'll put one next to on my polka dot area here. That makes it the same width. And then I'm going to add the other half on the top of it over here. Remove the release paper. And then we can just lay our arrow right on top and it should be the same width. And still not too much bulk. Okay, after we have this done, we have our little jewels. We are going to go ahead and go to our 3D stickers. I'm actually going to take my scissors, my big scissors, and I like to, when there's packaging and stickers, I like to do just the side. That way I can slide it in and out easily through the side. But we're going to take the smile. That's going to be our sentiment. And I'm going to remove it. Mine stuck really good to the plastic, so I need to add some glue to this. I don't think yours will do that, but if it does, you just add a little bit of glue. And then this is going to go over our arrow, kind of evenly centering it. I think that looks cute on its own, but we are going to add our little butterfly here. So let's take that. These are chipboard, so they hold their shape. And then I'm going to take my butterfly, and I want it overhanging off of the teal here. Up in that corner. Okay. I'm going to put these back. And then I have these small foam squares, but we really don't need them. I'm not sure why I included those. So you can put those back in the bag. We won't really need those. Now we're going to take our craft pick. And we're going to take our largest gold gem. We're going to pick it up. And this is going to go on the head of our butterfly. You want to make sure that there's room because you're going to put 3 more small ones right below it. So then we're going to take another small one. And we're just going to create a gem-bodied butterfly. Our third one. There's going to be extra. Okay, 3 in a row with the big one at the top. You can see there. And then we have extra gems. We might need those for our last card, guys. So keep those. Just put those back in your little Ziploc baggie. I have some extra string left over too. So I'm going to put that in there also. And I'm going to put my zigzag in there. Okay, well that finishes our project for today. It's a pretty simple card. We didn't do any stamping, but I love how, oh, you know what, before we go, I always do that, but wait, I do want to take our washi tape. You want to take it out of the package and tear one side off. And then take your washi tape. I like this because it has a white bottom, and then kind of tuck it underneath your teal cardstock there. So the scallop is just barely showing, and then just tear it off. I think that's what that needed. And if you want to go a little bit shorter, you can. That's where your craft pick comes in handy. You can lift it up. Don't you just like that? I just think that's so neat. I'm going to make my washi tape a little bit smaller on this end. I'll take my craft pick, kind of lift it up and tuck it under there for my redo. You can press down really good so you can't see that white. And I'm going to do the same thing to this side. I like tearing it. But if you wanted to use your scissors, you could. Okay? I think it just needs that little touch of black, since we have a lot of black and white going on. I hope you're enjoying the classroom. I sure am having a blast. I'm sorry this ran a little bit long. So that finishes off lesson number 1. I think it's a cute card, everyday just because card you can give to anybody. I love cards like this. And I thank you so much for joining me for lesson number 1 of the In the Moment classroom. We'll see you next Friday. Let me tell you the date for our next classroom. Our next classroom is May 13th. So I will see you on Friday, May 13th. Friday the 13th. Oh goodness. For lesson number 2. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. We will see you soon. Bye-bye, guys.